Hey, Kenny, welcome back. So, a lot going on with coronavirus continuing to drive market sentiment. But we have some other big events going on. We've got a U.S. election. We've got the 2 sessions coming up in China. So let's just jump in right now. Lay the groundwork. I mean, the Hang Seng is down about 15% for the year, but overall sentiment is positive. What's that about?
Because the market is looking for future and they gradually expect the economy will improve, especially in China and in US. So we see sentiment improving recently. Even though last Friday we can see a very poor unemployment rate in US, 14.7%, but you can see US stocks still going up. So you can see that sentiment improved it. And we believe for coming 1 to 2 weeks, Hang Seng Index may have further upside, even though for coming 3 to 6 months, we just expect a range trading for 23,000 to 26,000 level.
Now, with the 2 sessions, the important political meeting coming up in China next week, talk to me, what should investors be looking for? What kind of policy support might there be? Which stocks might be best poised to benefit?
Our focus mainly focused on fiscal policy, and we did a very simple data analysis. We found that 2 weeks before the 2 sections, usually A-shares and Hong Kong stock will perform quite well, especially during economic downturn. My understanding is very easy, because if the economic is not good, the government or at least the market will expect more policy to be launched, so that will support the economy as well as the stock market. And we will focus on new, what we call new and old infrastructure, and those recovery play like consumption, it will be beneficiary.
Quichao Moutai has been flying off the charts. Is that going to continue?
I'm not sure, because you can see that the stock price performed so good and at a relatively high level. As you know me, I always suggest don't chase the rally, but try to bottom fish or bargain hunting. So I would suggest to take a wait and see to see whether some correction, even though you like this stock, like me.
We're talking about high flyers. Let's talk about Ping An Good Doctor.
Sure.
Let's talk about Ali Health. These have doubled year to date at a time of the coronavirus, of the worst unemployment rate in the United States since the Great Depression. What's going on with these stocks? And you say don't chase the rally, but you'd also, maybe with these 2 stocks, you'll be disappointed if you didn't have a piece of them later.
Yeah, because these 2 stocks is what we call the coronavirus beneficiary, because what we call so the impact will affect our daily life, but for the online medical care stocks will be benefit. So that's why you can see that money keep going into this type of industry. But I think that, as I mentioned, don't chase the rally. The stock price is too high. So even though we may miss out the chance of the rally, but just wait and see to see whether some correction. I like those stocks. I like their long-term growth story, but not this stock prices in this level. I think we should find a right stock and buy it at a right price, but now maybe too expensive for me.
Are there some other after the coronavirus stocks, in addition to the telemedicine stocks, that you think are good for investors to look at?
I think there will be 2 strategies. First of all, we can still focus on ATM, that is a IT sector which can provide long-term growth story.
ATM being Alibaba, Tencent, and Meituan DNP.
Yes, okay. And on the other hand, because our getting become normal for our daily life, so we can focus on recovery play, which I think their earnings will getting improved and money will flow into this type of sectors, including consumption. And actually you can see the stock prices for the past 1 month, many consumption stocks performed quite good, and I think this will be a key investor theme for coming 3 months.
Now let's talk about some battered stocks. I mean, casino stocks. Sans China. I mean, eventually China is going to resume that visa program. People are going to be back in those casinos. We've also seen Hong Kong property stocks have been really battered. Sasa is very battered. Are there some retailers? Are there some Hong Kong property stocks? The casino stocks, are there some battered stocks that you'd say it's time to bottom fish?
I would say it may not be the time to bottom fish because I just feel just neutral for Hong Kong property or retailers because even though after the coronavirus, don't forget we still have some domestic social unrest issue which may impact the investment sentiment on those retailers and property. And for Macau casino, don't expect too much because even though the restriction will be cancelled, but it is really the gambling revenue will improve or not for the very short period of time. I'm doubt. So I think maybe we should focus on recovery play, as I just mentioned, and ATM, but not those property retailers and casino.
You know, you're a long-term buy and hold kind of guy. You're not a big day trader.
Yes.
But if the Hang Seng is range bound, what's your advice to investors? I mean, they're not going to go too high, they may not go too low, but there are a lot of stocks that are doing very well.
Yeah.
So how does a person like yourself, a buy and hold guy, advise an investor who still wants to be getting something out of the market this year?
Frankly speaking, for normal retail investor, they are not professional investor. They no need to buy stock every day. So unless the stock price is attractive, they can just wait and see and holding more cash. And I still think that there are lots of uncertainty, including U.S. president election, including China-U.S. trade tensions. So market will be very volatile, and we still have chance to bottom fish the right stocks. So don't chase the rally, and we can buy those stocks in a relatively cheap level. Especially, we no need to focus on the market. We can focus on individual stocks. So even though the market may be just range trading, but we still can find some valuable stock to invest and try to capture the long-term growth story. I think it's better than doing day trading.
Great. Thanks so much for stopping by, Kenny. We'll love to have you again in a few weeks.
Yes, thank you.